Hi, welcome all. Who is the right person to talk about abundance or teach about abundance or being rich? I would tell the right person would be you can keep your answer, but what I would tell is that the person who is already done that or who has already become abundant by having not abundant, he becomes so. He's the right person to do that. So, in that perspective, Regan Hillyer is a person who is an abundance coach. She invested 1 million US dollar to learn about abundance, and she's a world famous coach on abundance and financial freedom and all these things. Her new book, Change Your Life in 3 Minutes, Revolutionary Method of Multi-Millionaires. Let's get started. Myself Ramesh, welcome to Book.tips. Before we start the book, this is from the book itself. Book has some chapters. This book is designed to read not in one time. Maybe yes, you can read it in one time. But the main purpose of this book, as the title of the book highlights, Change Your Life in 3 minutes. What it essentially means is you should spend 3 minutes every day on this book and absorb that and implement it on your life, and that will essentially change your life. So it's not something, a book which is exaggerating a topic. Somehow it is a very capsulated book. It's a very small book, maybe 100 pages or something, but it's very capsulated, so you can just read in 3 minutes, because most of the great things can happen in 3 minutes. An Olympic gold can be won on 3 minutes. A lot of things like that. So just 3 minutes of your day, it will be less than 1% of your day maybe. So that will change your life. So before we started, she's telling there is some foundations or critical success factors or critical steps. We'll go one by one. Before we start, you should think that you are responsible for your life. This is an important step. What it means is that whatever happened before, after, like whatever is happening now, what you are now is all the things which you have been responsible and you have taken decisions on yourself. So you are completely responsible for your life. Not your parents, not your environment, not the people around you, not your friends, not your neighbors, not your co-workers. That's an idea there. Your belief shape your reality. Because if you remember our old book, Something Deeply Hidden, it talks about quantum mechanics and all these things. So if you look at that books and other books like that, what we see is what we perceive to see. It is not actually the reality. It is something like our eyes envision and our brain decode it. That's what we understand as reality. So in general, what it means is that you are the creator of your own reality. If you think back, for example, after 5 years before, what you would expect you to be now, if you think about it, mostly what you are now is the same thing what you thought about it. So what you are already is because of your belief. So your belief, your faith in you, whatever you understand about your life, such beliefs shape your reality. So in short, what does that mean is that how can I change my reality? Is to change your belief. That's what it means. Compounding actions. So as we all learn in school, like Rome is not built in a day. And we all know that, all these things. But the point is that many people have lot of things to do. Like they will have New Year resolutions. They want to become that, this and all these things. But a very small percentage of people do that, even becoming rich and all these things. So what she's essentially mean is that you cannot do like one big task and make things happen. Instead, actions compounding it. Like we are the animals of habit, like that. So small task, even the winning an Olympic gold, you should spend like at least 3 minutes working on something. That actions compounded, 3 minutes a day is something like, you multiply it into 7, it is 21 minutes a week. Then you multiply it into month, it is, so it is getting compounding and all that. Compounding actions automatically engage results. So you should not think that there is some right time one action can change something. No, you should think about compounding actions can change your life in all aspects of your life, in terms of health, in terms of wealth, in terms of family relations, in terms of relationship or growth in your career, all aspects. We'll come across all this in the book. Our limits are only our limits. The point is, we put ourselves on some limits and we think that this is a maximum what we can do. Because previously there was something about Olympic gold, like there is a maximum 100-meter race was 4 minutes or something like that. Then some Roger Bannister come and break that thing. Then all other people are able to break that record again. So the point is that what was really happening is that when one person show, like suppose you are going to undertake a task, it will be fairly simple if someone else has already done it, or you want to become like first rank or something, or something else, like you want to build a X company. If somebody already built that will give you lot of confidence on that, because somebody already did that. But the point is, if someone not done it, there will be great friction, because people have this limiting belief on themselves, like they cannot do. So that's it. If you think you have some limitation, that is only the limitations what you put on it. So the solution is, once you change your limits will change. That's what it means. Know what you want. So this all these things will come across in the book later. Know what you want in a sense is that people all want to be rich, happy, abundant, everything. Everybody, nobody want to be like live poor and all these things. But the point is that how much you want to be rich? That is important question. You want 1 billion or 1 million? You want to become CEO or a manager? Just lot of things. Example I'm telling. You want to be like happy of one part of the family or all part of the family? So all such things is important. Know what you want. You want to have appropriate weight, or you want to have a healthy body, whatever is that, X number of weight or something. So what you want objectively is more important than a subjective interpretation of a goal. These are the important things. So this is the first section now. The critical steps we have to keep in mind. Then we'll go to the chapter by chapter quickly. Health. Health is the first chapter. The point she put into the health is that, imagine you have all the things in the world, but if you don't have a healthy body, or you don't have a body to live, then you cannot enjoy any of this, whatever is the benefits and abundance you have. So most people take health for granted. Okay, let it be there. It will take care of itself, like that. But the point is that that's where the burnout and all these things come up, like stress and overstress, overwhelming in the work, and all these things come up there, even when you're building a company and all. So language of releasing. Maybe this is a very profound idea in the current generation, because if you look at YouTube and all these things, you will see a lot of weight loss programs and all these things. And people are normally interested because all the foods around us and the life culture around us is gaining us weight. But what she tried to see is that, suppose imagine you lost your car key. Sure, you will feel bad and you try to go and find the key. Or you lost some, say, $1,000 or your wallet. You will feel bad and you will go and find it out. So in general, what you lost, or in another way, suppose example, there is a supermarket offer happening. This offer is available for next 10 hours only, or 1 hour only. People are most likely to buy that because we are having the fear of loss. This is what the Daniel Kahneman Nobel Prize winning idea of fear of loss, human rational emotions like that. So that fear of loss is inherent. Like, I don't have money, that means you don't have. So that is a loss mechanism working there. You get the point. So here what she's telling is language of releasing is that most people tell that I want to lose weight. So if you look at all the other example I told before, normally our body is programmed in a way that loss should be limited or protected. So if you're trying to lose your body weight, if you try to do, your body will automatically try to just fill that back, because that's what the natural programming of the body, which you naturally programmed by yourself in unconsciously. So instead of losing, just think that you're shredding the weight. It's a language, like what you talk to yourself is very important. The way you talk, on way you present an idea, that language, even though you are just putting on your mouth, you are even talking to yourself. Even I'm just talking to you people now, I'm also talking directly back to me. So the language you talk about something is important. So instead of losing a weight, think that you have a lot of this unnecessary fat. I want to shred this one. Shredding is a waste. So that means it is not like losing. It's a different language. Explicit body goals. So instead of having like, I want to become that particular weight or this particular weight, at the end, there should be some explicit goal on, okay, I want to be like healthy on this one. I want to be energetic. I want to be not having sick. I want to wear this much fit body or this particular dress on that particular year. Or explicit body goals is more motivating than implicit body goals like that. That's what she means on that. Body image issues. This also is very prevalent on the society. Like, we all feel that we have a body shame around it, because especially of the media and the things, we think that there is some perfect embodiment of body which movie or all these things have captured, and they try to put that. But imagine that one, they try to imagine a particular actor is showing a body. He is putting his effort 365 a day to make that body, and he is not having a body shame. But most of the other people they have even having a lot of body image issues and all. These body image issues themselves make them to be vulnerable to not take care of your health. Instead, she's telling, think about something what you are good for. Just look at how beautiful your hair is. Just look at how beautiful, because what God has created in this world is that He created everything as beautiful. Even on the ugliest person you try to put some frame on, he himself have a beauty. And even the most beautiful person, that frame of a person will have an ugliness on it. So it is purely relative. So you have to take the things like, if you imagine, a particular most beautiful actor or actress. If that particular internal person of that person is not having that body image, then he cannot deliver that fashion or that particular beauty. So you have to make sure that you don't have a shame on your body, or whatever given to you, your hands, your hair, your nails, everything on you is unique to the DNA level. So there is nobody else who can copy it. So you're insulting yourself, you're trying to capture on something. But for sure, if your body is not like someone else, because there is a less compounding action than they've just spent every day compounding actions to achieve that one, they have a particular goal, and you are not doing that. You are that time when those people are working on workouts or gym, you are working on something and watching YouTube videos or movies or something and eating potatoes on the couch or something like that. So that's what it means. Consistent healthy actions. This is what same we discussed before. Energy level and clues. Our body, as it is, like, suppose you feel like you are not getting the energy level or every day you wake up you're not having that particular energy, or something else. Because our body or our brain mainly, it's the most sophisticated creation in the whole universe. So if the body is giving you a clue, then it is telling you please take action. It is an indicator of something. So energy level and all these things, so you have to work out. Sometimes maybe your food is not giving the appropriate nutrition to the body, so take care of that. Or something else, like you're having a habit which is affecting the health, so take care of that clue. So that's an important thing. Just listen to your body. Even exercise also, you don't have to exercise like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Cristiano Ronaldo to become fit. You have to listen to your body, and your body will automatically tell you what level of exercise and what level of effort. Because one day you exercise, the next day the body will tell you, okay, I have this problem. It will have the pain and recovery, and this one. Your recovery period will be different from your friend. So listen to your body, and your body will tell you what to do. Stillness is the key. So even though we are the people of movement, we think that we have to do everything all the time. Like just like we have to be overwhelmed to become successful. So we just try to multitask, just stress out, burn out ourselves like that. The most important thing is that even if there are some books about peak performance and all these things, till that all these people who's a very peak performer, they spend enough time on the exercise, same time they will spend on the recovery period. Because recovery is more important. It's not like you just pump your muscle like that, or health, then even after your work, like your brain is not a 24-hour working machine. You should have a proper level of sleep to have. Even everybody, even Albert Einstein, Elon Musk, or all those Tiger Woods, or any people who you think about it, they will tell that how much important the sleep is in their life. Along with sleep, like in between a day, Thomas Edison used to work 16 hours a day, but he was not 16 hours continuously working. His secret was that whenever he get exhausted, he go and take a nap. Just a nap. In that way, like he lose himself, and he just take a pebbles on his hands, and then pebbles will wake him up. So the stillness is the key. You can read a book about Ryan Holiday about the same topic. So next topic is about purpose. That health is one chapter, the purpose is another chapter. So to have been successful, or to become rich, or to be abundant, you should have a purpose in life. If you think about all those successful people, if you look at the interviews of Elon Musk, he will always tell that excruciating pain, like existential crisis. I think this is everywhere available on every people. But why I try to mention Elon Musk is that the point is he was a person who don't want to be the richest person in the world. When he just go and take a company like X, and then he sold it to PayPal, he got 180 million. He just don't stop there. He has a living purpose. He want to make his own vision. Like, I want to just make electric car, and this one sending extra planetary species as a man, and all these things. So he spent that 180 million invested again to the company. He did not go for holidays. I'm not telling that Elon Musk did not go for holidays. My point is that he has a purpose. So that purpose drive actions. If you don't have a purpose to live, you have a long-term purpose, you cannot get that energy and enthusiasm on doing the difficult things. You don't get that determination. People think that determination and willpower is something you just created. You have to drive it again. But there should be some inherent drive inside which take the passion. So this is what I mentioned already. Passion, enthusiasm and grit. So passion is something like most people like passionate to become an entrepreneur. But maybe most people will start a company also, but they cannot stay there. Most people will be enthusiastic also. You'll be very enthusiastic on your first day at work. Next day, days after, you will not get that enthusiasm. Why? Is because there is something else called grit. When passion is combined by perseverance, combined with a purpose, that becomes grit. An interesting book by Angela Duckworth on the same. She got awards and all for the same. So you should have that grit. To get that grit, you should have a purpose and a passion to do that. That's what it means. So finding purpose in commonality. What she means is that this is something come from Oprah Winfrey. A quote is there on the book as well. Suppose you look at all the things you're passionate about. There will be multiple things. If you just try to write it somewhere, you will see a lot of things you're passionate about. But among that passionate things, you will find a common ground. That will be your purpose. So your purpose will be somewhere a common factor among all those passions you are passionate about. Alignment of life and purpose. Until and unless your life is not in line with your purpose, you will not be in line with the surrounding world. You will not be in line with yourself. So in the same time, you will not be in line with the universe. So imagine there is an unsyncing device. Your mobile phone is not syncing to Google Drive or OneDrive. You will not get the files. So you are not syncing properly to the universe around. So you will not be aligned to it. That's what it means. Have fun with purpose. A decent way. What she's telling to that it is always good that to make a purpose what you're passionate about. What passion is, you don't feel tired on doing that. Must spend 16 hours a day, or you may be spending one whole night in making a presentation. Until and unless there is not a passion on it or a fun on it, you cannot do more. Maybe your body will only can prevent you. Nothing else can prevent you if you have a passion. You will go to and conquer Mount Everest if you have a fun around it. But if you don't have a fun around it, it is someone else's task, like you have to do 8 hours to just go to Mount Everest. You cannot do that. So have fun on the purpose. Edison tell that he spent almost, he lived 83 years and he has 1,400 patents like that. He told, I have not done a single day of work. It was all fun. That was Thomas Alva Edison's way. Mindset and emotions. So fixed and growth mindset. This you will come across when you look at your students and all these things. Like your colleagues on school and all. You will come across many people like that. Many people excel in school and all. But after school they cannot get that things going on. That is mainly because she's telling that fixed mindset. It's telling that they get a fixed mindset from their parents or something. You have to become this and you are capable to do this because the parent is telling. They are the creator of this. Someone, a manufacturer is telling this device can do this. You will try to achieve that. Samsung is telling or Apple is telling your device can do that. You will go and do that. So same like you are getting a command from somebody telling that you can do that. But after school, they cannot get that same success level like that. But growth mindset is something else. Fixed mindset is thinking that, okay, my skills and my levels are limited. I can only do what is available to me. But growth mindset is telling that everything is plastic. Your brain is plastic. Your thinking is plastic. I can learn that skill. I can improve what I have now. This is growth mindset. So growth mindset is important for abundance. Express yourself. It's another part. Because whenever you have there is no emotion. If you look at some other book in our same channel, Atlas of Emotion, you will get more detail about emotions there. But here what she tried to mention is expressing yourself. Like when you have something, like if you have a joy, express it. If you have an anger, express it. If you just frustrated or something, just express it. Express it in a way that it is communicated. So until and unless you express yourself and express to others, you will not get that, because we are same time like a physical body, and most of our thinking and all these thoughts, it is governed by a lot of chemical. It's a whole chemistry lab or a chemical factory is going on under the supervision of the CEO of the brain. So you should express yourself to have your like chemical factory running for your successful operations. Self-doubt and worse that can happen. The point is, most people have a self-doubt on doing many things, like this will happen, that will happen, what will happen, what I do, when I do this, what will happen, and all these things. What she's trying to tell is that when you come to a position of like a perplexing situation or a dilemma, just think about, or fearful of something, think what is the worst thing that can happen. Like imagine you want to start a company. Just look at it, what is the worst thing that can happen if I start a company? Maximum thing is that maybe I'll fail, right? That is the worst thing that can happen. What will happen if I fail? If I fail, then I will lose some money. How much amount of money? Okay, this much amount of money. If I don't have that money, what will happen? You get the point. So try to decode on the worst thing that can happen, then reverse engineer it back. So that will help you to just overcome lot of self-doubt and all these things. Learn from experience. That's a very important thing. There is a famous trainer called Srikumar Rao. He used to tell the same thing. Like even you, maybe you are in a position, you make this much company, or you built up a company, you set up a company and you failed it. You did not gain profit or all these things. What inherent on all these things, or you done something and you did not succeed. What is the most important thing you have to check about is that even you start a company, if you are not successful or profit, success is not dependent on the profit or something. Until you learn something from by doing that, you should be satisfactory by that. So that thing you cannot repeat again. But there is another point behind this. Like our life is so short, we cannot just learn everything from experience. That's where the books and the people before us can tell us. A book is something like a distillation of a person 20 year or 30 year. Or someone else try to take 100 years of 5 people, 20 years, 5 people, and put it in a book. That's 100 years of experience. You can get it in maybe 10 hours. I'm just telling a point. So learning something. So learn from your own experience and other experience. That is most important. Thankful and grateful. That's also same thing. Like you should have a mindset where you should be grateful for, and that will generate your emotions and mindset. Giveaway and volunteering. So that's also an important. Like when you think that it's all you and whatever you have to get it there, then you will not become abundant. The moment you are giving, that itself is giving an universe a clue that you have too much. You are abundant already. Then only you can give. So she's trying to tell that just trying to get on something. When you get an opportunity to help somebody, even to get somebody else's job, or doing something for a person, or helping somebody to learn something, or teaching what you know about something to someone, that is a giving away, volunteering. By doing that, you will improve yourself. You will change your life. Removing negative sources. So we are all surrounded by a lot of people, and every people is different in their own aspects. But always make sure that nothing is taken for granted. You don't have to keep everybody yourself. If some sources is making you problem, just get away from them, or remove that person from your life. You are the average of the 5% around you. Jim Rohn tell that. So if you have a negative source affecting your mindset and emotion, then you should make a deliberate effort to remove those sources from you. That is most important for your mindset and emotion. Even for your growth mindset. If you starting a business and you are surrounded by people who tell that business is risky and it's have all these things, you will not get that thing. Instead, you get to join some club or somebody where it is motivating the things. That's a totally different level of surroundings. So there is something called epigenetics and all these things, talking about Bruce Lipton. It talk about the same thing about DNA. Like our environment, like it is easy. Suppose you go to join a book club. It is easy to read a book when you are surrounded by a book club people or in a library than you reading book alone. So environment help you. You will read more books inside a library than you sit alone. It's not an example for everything, but it's an example I'm just telling. Then abundance, because most of the time when we talk about abundance, we think about money. So money is also there. Everyone want to be rich. So this is sure, everybody want to be rich, but no, not everyone is becoming rich. Why? That's question is here. So goal has to be realistic and measurable. So if you want, you cannot just imagine like, okay, I just want to be rich. Instead, if you imagine that, okay, I want to become 25% more money than this year to next year, that is more precise and realistic. Instead, you cannot imagine, okay, 500%, until and unless you don't have a source for that. It should be realistic and measurable, then it will works. And making more money is how much? Like, I want to make more money. But you should find a way that, okay, if I have this more money, imagine you have it already and you are grateful for that. What I'll do with this? So that will give you answer about more realistic actions to gain it and deliver it back. Bad debt and road to riches. Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad series used to tell that bad debt will break you and good debt will make you like rise up. Because there is two things. Credit is not always bad. Credit card, for example. Credit card is not always bad. You can use the debt, good debt in the sense like you can use someone else's money to set up a business until unless it is within your profit making, things like that. Instead, you are taking too much debt that you have to just pump that debt and you are just crushed by that debt. Then that's a bad debt. It's killing you. So one thing she's trying to tell that suppose you have a bad debt now, that itself is a root or a seed for riches. In the process of paying that back, you can read more in our book about Richest Man in Babylon, and it is in our channel. But it is we're trying to tell is that in the process of paying, a systematic way of paying back that debts will eventually make you in a habit of earning more, because after you paying the debt, you can invest that money back. Save early and compounding magic. Just to tell that it is, suppose people very much underestimate the power of compounding. It is sometimes used to tell that compounding is 8th wonder of the world. So compounding magic is, suppose you invested $5,000 like at a year of 20, at an age of 20, you will get 100,000 when you retire. But instead, if you invest that one at an age of 45 years, you will not get, but the same money. The point is that the compounding, the same thing what is making you trouble by debt, which bank is playing you that thing to you, you can play the same game back to you. I'm not talking about interest, like lot of things. Like for example, you invest in stocks. That money, it will automatically compound and this thing, it will become a very huge money later on. That's an idea. Passive income sleeping. Warren Buffett used to tell that you will become poor until and unless you don't make money while you're sleeping. Because don't think that you will work until you die. Maybe you cannot. So you have to retire also someday of a week, and you will not be like competent enough to work at your that age. So that's all important. So make sure you always have a passive income. Just find where there are 1,000 ways to do that. Investment and abundant mindset. So that's it. Like abundant mindset is too important. Like To having abundance means like feeling grateful in ourselves. So investment and giving away to people and investing on things. That's all. That mindset is so important than a scarcity mindset. Designing your legacy. Don't think it as a family tree. What it generally means is that you are here not because to create some legacy for your family. Okay, I'm the family member of this particular father and mother. You are here because there is a reason. There is no other you than you yourself. So you are here for a particular reason. Nobody else can become you. So you are here to make an impact on the universe. If I take a Steve Jobs world, I'm here to put a dent on the universe. Even you don't put a dent like Steve Jobs. You are here for a reason. The whole universe and the whole intelligence of the God, they have a reason you are there. So leave your legacy when you're leaving. So there will be something that will be still remember even after you leave this earth. Give away and contribute. So contribution is so important. Like if you're not contributing, simply means that you're dead. That's what Roosevelt used to tell that. So collaborate and create impacts. We are a social beings. We have to be collaborative. You have to be contributing yourself. It is not always taking it yourself. You have to contribute. If you look at another way, like the same thing about riches. A rich man is someone who is having that much impact to that much number of people. That's why he's becoming rich. Like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. His company or his idea or his solution have that much impact on the world. That's why people are putting that much worth on him. That way he become the richest man in the world. So instead of thinking of making money or getting money as a profit, think that getting money somehow, when you solve some people problem, that way you're getting the money. So think in terms of that way, like solving problem and making money of it. You're working somewhere, you're solving a problem of a company that you want to become that particular title and this done. So if you try to solve it more and more in a better way, you will be rewarded by more and more. That's how it means. So create impactful living and working. Career and business. We already somehow merged with that, with the legacy. So 25% of almost all people, maybe more than that, is already living on work. Then sometime we are sleeping, sometime we are. So 25% is too much time already. So that is really important. Suppose as per Gallup study, like 83% of the people who live in the earth, they don't like what they do. So what they do, what do you really like to work? To get an answer, imagine what you do if you are not doing anything. Suppose somebody don't do anything. So if you have a choice of not doing anything, what will you do? That is the best thing you like to do. So that is the best thing you can do better. If you can make that as a business or a career, you will thrive. Goals in career and attached timeline. It's always important that goals is always having like a timeline, and you should have a means goal and an end goal in the career. That's important, because means goal is something like to get small steps. End goal is something you want to become that and this one like that. So it's always important there is attached timeline to the short and long term goals, because you usually underestimate what we can do in a short and long time periods. Actions breed success. We talk about this. Family and friends. Friendship, intimacy and care. Because family is something like where the friendship, intimacy and care. So maybe you'll be smiling at it. Maybe most of the time it is not the case. Why? Because everybody think the same way. Because if everybody perception is taking it on the same way, I want to be having the friendship and intimacy and care. If that is lacking, they flip it up. Then when other person is looking at it, they are not seeing it, then they will also flip the things. So that's why you will always see that there is no family or love or something is churning out of it. Remove toxic members and keep and discard. It's family also same thing. We talked about before about toxic members. Even in your family, there are some toxic people. It is very like loss effort if you try to spend time to change them. Instead, leave them or give your perspective to them. Maybe they will get a revelation later. But keep and discard them. Keep good people and surround yourself with non-toxic people. Otherwise, you will be toxicated in the family as well. Ronald Regan, the famous American president, used to tell that peace is not the absence of conflict, it's an ability to handle it. So this applies to a large perspective and a short perspective. If you think that whenever there is an intelligence or a creation happening, it's always having a conflict. It's a part of an evolution. So peace is not something for granted. Peace will not happen itself. Peace is not absence of conflict. Conflict will be always there. Even inside the company, even inside the family, even inside between husband and wife. But it's not absence of conflict that is a peace. It's an ability to handle it, as Ronald Reagan used to tell. Check where the conflict is coming from. When you have a problem with a family member, always try to check that where is the source of that. If the source of that is coming from a love or something really care about or something reasonable or right thing, go and attend it. Maybe that's a clue to solve that. But just try to see what is the intention or what is driving those people to do this. Where the conflict is coming from. That will give you a lot of insights on how to manage that. Stand up against the bullying and place boundaries. If somebody is your family member or ex, he's having a title on your family, you don't have to always accept the belittling and bullying of the person. You can always place your boundaries around you. There is some limit. Nobody can infringe upon you. Toxicity won't change. We already connecting generation through traditions. So when part in the family, it's always important that there is some traditional way of making up the family. You don't have to underestimate that, because something is created in a society in terms of traditions like get-togethers or marriages or some traditions and culture is something to collaborate. And so somehow connecting generation, you don't have to think it on a formal level. You can be silly as well, silly and fun. You cannot just make a hi, hello, how are you to make everything happen. You can sometimes be silly. She's talking about a lot of things, like you can be like a silly way and fun way to just collaborate and be with the family and all these things. Relationship and love. Falling in love once or every time. Falling in love is to tell that we fall only love once at a time. But what she's trying to tell is that we are in love almost all the time. We love with anything. Maybe I love this microphone, or I love this. Maybe you have 100 things around you love now, or you're going to love after some time. It can be affecting on anything living and non-living things. Love ourselves first. The point is that until and unless that love is pouring from you, like you are not an engine of love, you cannot generate love, and that engine cannot receive love also. Cultivating and anger. So this is an interesting perspective. She used to tell that every person having a masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy is something about survival and taking of challenges and something. About feminine energy, something about creative and all those calmness and all those creative aspects. We should have a balance on all of this. If you only look about the survival instinct, you will get burnout. If you are only talking about creative aspects, you will not get succeeded on that other strategic and business aspect. So cultivate your feminine and masculine energy. That will be important. She's talking about gym and challenges, trust and rise above. Clarity in relationship. It's also very important. Like you should be clear on what is your stand on a particular relationship, in whatever is the relationship. That will always important to make sure grow love and respect. It's also important. Demonstrate communication, listen and express. You should have to demonstrate that relation. You should communicate. You should listen and talk back. That is important to have that clarity in communication and expressing that one as well. Sexual energy channeling and all. Maybe you have already learned about this in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and all. But he's trying to tell is that there should be always this is that much a creative energy, you can channel it, and sometimes there is a healing. In our channel itself, we have a book called Body Keep the Score. We have lot of people living around lot of sexual abuse and all these things, and because of that abuse, they are limiting or they are blocking their energy level, because all this energy it is there because to have a complete being, you should have that energy churning around you. So make sure that you heal that, you talk to the people and you heal yourself, you understand the things, and then if you have more interested, you can read that or go through that book summary, Body Keep the Score. Spirituality. On this chapter, there are a lot of things, but spirituality is something everybody knows about it. So we'll go through some quotations first. So people take different roads to seeking fulfillment and happiness. Just because they are not on your road doesn't mean that they are lost. Dalai Lama. What it means that if somebody is not following your religion, somebody is not following your path, it doesn't mean that they are not in spirituality. Some people tell that their religion is only the, even almost all the religions, very few is created by man. Most other things is just put on by God itself, but it was changed by his followers. So you can take different fulfillment, but on the basic foundation is as long as it is reaching to that infinite power, and this one, there is still spirituality is there. So don't think it other way. You will never find peace of mind until you listen to your heart. George Michael. In Quran, there is an important thing that Quran says, like, people will not find peace until they come back to God, until they come back to spirituality. Peace means we are in harmony, peace with God. The moment you are with the harmony with the ultimate, omniscient, omnipotent God, you are always in harmony with the universe. Marianne Williamson used to tell, ego says, when everything fall in place, then I'll find peace. When you have all the good life, all the good money, you have multi-million dollar, you have multi-million mansion, you have that Rolls-Royce car, then I will find peace. That is what ego will say. But instead, spirit will say, find your peace, then everything will fall into place. Rumi used to say a similar thing, like, when I run back to something, I will get tired, but when I stand still, everything will come back to me. Jalaluddin Rumi. So, you work to go forth into the, this is all quotation is from the book only, it's not from me. You work is to go forth into the physical environment looking for things that are vibrationally matched to the joy, connecting to the source energy, and then following with the inspired action. So that is spirituality. Abraham Hicks. She has an interesting book about ask and it is given and all these things. So it's mostly about law of attractions and all these things. Deepak Chopra used to tell, when you contact to the higher self, the source of power within, the kingdom of God within, you tap into the reservoir of the infinite power. That's what the spirituality. Contribution, in fact, this is almost like a last chapter, but we'll try to summarize most of the things we already living beyond yourself. Don't think it's all about you. We already discussed. No need to give all what you have. Like when you're thinking about charity or something, don't think that whatever is your income you don't have to give. You can just spend 5% or 10% of this money. There is some interesting version of this one, like as I mentioned, Richest Man in Babylon in our other book, it is telling most about that one. So even you spend like, you get $100, you spend $5 on charity, it will not make you 95% is still there, but you will give that contribution in fact and feeling of abundance. When you cease to make contribution, you begin to die. We told this quote before, Eleanor Roosevelt. The law of giving is very simple. If you want to joy, give joy. If love is what you seek, offer love. If you crave material wealth, help others become prosperous. It's what we tell before also. Like the richest man in the world is not rich by himself because he is solving all those people problem and he's becoming rich by that. So if you want joy, give joy. If you want love, give love. If you want wealth, give wealth. That's what Deepak Chopra. So that's an end of the book. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and also like or give your feedback so that we can improve our summaries in the coming books summaries. Until we come across by next book. Thank you. Bye for now.